we'll probably be good to go. Alright, man, so making your video here. So if you could not play, that'd be awesome. No problem. I'm glad you want to work that out. So we did two things today. Both of them involve using our right hand, which is called playing finger style, or finger picking. So, you know, generally what we talked about was wanting to have our thumb parallel to the string. You know, not like this, but like that, which lets our fingers curl up. Not like this, but like this, so that when we move them, it's just small little movements, whether we're picking two strings, one string, whatever. Having our fingers curled makes it like, so let's the opposite. My fingers are all straight. Yeah. I'll keep losing track of which strings I'm on. So the reason your brain wants it to go like this is because you can see the strings. They're totally there. Like, promise. It's all good. So yeah, there we go. Everybody wants to do that first, just like they want to do this at first all the time. So cool. There it is. There's the whole key, is just having your thumb not like this, not like this, but just chilling with the first knuckle straight. Cool. And then we've got this shape we're playing for the Bossa Nova song, where just left hand overview. We're gonna be playing on these strings, and then the whole thing is gonna move down towards the ground, but stay at the same fret. So right hand wise, during the first chord, we're going to be on the 6th string with our thumb, and then these three fingers are always next to each other. Like, we don't play like in that position or anything. So in this case, they're going to be on strings 2, 3, and 4, but we're really actually just going to be using our thumb and these two in this rhythm, though we will use this one too at some point. So yeah, we're just going thumb and the rest. Cool, so you want your wrist to be straight and relaxed, not this or anything, just chilling. And a lot of that has to do with arm position, where we want to be not out in front of the instrument, where you're using this as part of how you steady it. To arm, it's in the crook of your arm, it's slung around like that. That's going to make all this stuff easier. But, because when you're over like this, it's like all that way. Makes a difference. Cool, so there's that. So we're like... It's cool because you get a little pause, especially here. You can find your way back. What I'm going to encourage you to do is just do this chord change a whole bunch of times until your brain says, okay, I can do that.
Is it okay for me to look, or you want to do
looking fine. And as long as you're not bending the guitar over extra to look, like you should have to look over a little. So yeah, absolutely looking until you notice you can't look, or like on your own. So yeah, just stop and get that down. Just moving it. It's something you're doing with your shoulder and elbow more than your fingers. Cool. And there we are. Thumb these, thumb these, thumb these, thumb these. If you wanted to go, you can do that too. Whatever. Just mess around with it. So there we go. There's our first thing. And at about like 3:30 in the video, I just wrote out this other thing. We're working on picking single strings. These three fingers are either going to be on where we just were on strings 2, 3, and 4, or on strings 1, 2, and 3. And that's the most common position. That's where they're going to be during this thing that we're doing now. Where left hand wise, we're playing A minor, which we know sounds dark, like this, as opposed to major chord, bright, minor, dark. Cool, so, or however you want, whatever adjective comes up in your head, use that one. Cool, so like, we're just going through our hand one finger at a time. And the goal is to just stay right over the strings, not lose track of where you are. If your thumb starts to do this, you'll find your first finger ending up one string too high. That's, again, the answer is just be in this position. And this should seem difficult too, a little bit, not rhythm-wise, but just actually doing it. So the issues you were having over here, aside from fingernails, seem to be like part of your index finger was touching or whatever. So we are, it can be this never-ending troubleshooting thing, or it just goes, each finger comes straight in at the string and not with our palm touching the instrument. You can be in this position your palm just can't be touching the first string.
Okay.
So, you know, that means you get more out in front of the instrument. It doesn't have to be this or this. Just, you know, find that spot where your hand moves away from the instrument rather than being like that. And just push down as hard as you can. And when you're working on the right hand part, if you hear like over here, don't worry about it. You can just do this even and work on it if your hand gets tired and you want to just work on right hand. So there's the first chord, and then we're switching to C. All you have to do to switch to C is move one finger. It goes boom, you know, which is the second chord. And I wrote it out up top, so just check that out.
Okay.
Keep in mind that all that's going to happen is that your ring finger is going to move. Everything else stays the same. And just to try both of the common ones, our right hand is going to move up to 2, 3, and 4, the same place it was in the Bossa Nova song. And your thumb's going to move to not the 6th string, but the 5th string. So, and then we'll still be going, just here we were like that, now we're like this. And that'll make the thumb index important because we are playing on 2 strings that are right next to each other now, where if you were like this, you wouldn't be able to do it. Cool, so it'll be like